What is up, everyone? This is SpireFan here. Welcome to Friday Night M.U.G.E.N, a new weekly event with the EaglesPerch.net and the Alanos Gateway Discord. A little history about M.U.G.E.N. I started my own M.U.G.E.N build back in 7th grade, which, the time period of that was 2007, 2008. Actually, around the same time I started YouTube. And I have a lot to thank M.U.G.E.N for. It definitely taught me a lot about programming and game design in general, because it is an open source universal fighting engine, and so you are the one that is tampering and messing with data and adding your roster and stuff like that. Very, very customizable. And so this has been a carryover project since that time. In high school, I used to run Nintendo Club, and me and my friends would enter M.U.G.E.N weekly events, and then that ended up turning into Spectator events when I got into college. And we're kind of taking that momentum there into now a weekly broadcast. So, in a nutshell, how the tournament structure works is there is a registration link in the description. In a nutshell, all you need to do is be a member of the community Discord to track your registration, because you're going to use your username there. And it will be open until Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time each week. And then we run the tournament at 8 p.m. that night. And then registration will always reopen on Saturday at noon. And then, you'll have about a week to register your next team. You can run the same team if you want. But we're going to have weekly events. And then at the end of each month, there's going to be a leaderboard, and the top 3 will get prizes. This is free to enter, and this is a spectator event, a competitive spectator event. And so basically just pick a team you like, and you just, hoping you're ending with them. You're hoping that, they win, or you can just enter just for the fun of it and watch them fight. You're not required to ever be at the live stream broadcasts. These are going to happen during Street Fighter 6 each Friday. And so you're not required to actually be at the event. You can enter. Again, all you need to do is just be a member of the community Discord, so we can track your registration, and then we can put you in the system if you get top 4. 4th and 3rd are tied. You get 1 point. 2nd gets 2 points, and 1st place gets 3 points a week. And then, at the end of the month, top 3 will get prizes. So every team, again, like I mentioned in the backstory, I've been working on my own M.U.G.E.N since 7th grade. Each team has a fighting chance. This has been, like I was saying, this is years of work, of kind of just like analyzing a lot of AI patterns, and the whole, like, me and my friends would compete and I would be adjusting things, and so every team here has a fighting chance. My recommendation is just pick a team that you'd like to see fight, and you can mix that up each week or pick the same one. It's all up to you. Without further ado, we're going to do a breakdown of each team so you can get kind of a good gist of understanding how each team kind of performs overall in terms of like strengths and weaknesses and stuff. So let's get right to it. Action Speak, which is Vergil and Hercule. What's cool about this team is Vergil is known to be a very strong rushdown character. He has a very lethal punish game. Hercule is very good at not just charging meter, but he actually has like pretty great normals just overall. Like you're seeing right there, he also has just really good special moves, like that jetpack ram attack. He has the spin attack that pretty good with its hitboxes. And remember, this is doubles, so it can hit both teammates. Another thing is both characters definitely have very high damaging supers just overall. And so, like, as you're seeing here, Vergil is already applying pressure to General Grievous, and Hercule is actually right there utilizing his jetpack to jump over Ibuki's super. So there's actually surprisingly a high amount of mobility from this team, and just a lot of like potential burst damage. As I say that, this is one of Hercule's great supers he has, and they can just definitely start dismantling a team just from their supers alone. But they definitely have a lot of tools to get out and get in overall. Next is the Battlefront Ambushers, which is General Grievous and Ibuki. So the thing about this team is General Grievous has a very, very strong defensive game. He's actually able to call in 4 different battle droids, which all have different ways of assisting him. So technically, it's the opponents are going to have to worry about 2 characters, and then Grievous can summon all 4 battle droids at a time, but the timing window is pretty strict. Regardless, while he does that, Ibuki has a lot of great tricks that she can do. She has her, her sliding command grab, which is really good. She's also a really good airborne character. So she's got her kunai. She's got that really strong kunai rainstorm super she has from the air. So basically, this team is very good at both ground and aerial control. As you're seeing here, Q's trying to parry one of them, but in this case, Grievous is summoning, his droids from the back, which creates a lot of different hitboxes from all different angles that, it'd be very, very, very hard to parry all that. So yeah, it's just great pressure overall, and Grievous has great range, and Ibuki has a lot of different tools to get in on the opponent. So definitely just great coverage overall from this team. Next we got the Brutal Brawlers, which is Q and Frieza. What I like about this team is Frieza has pretty good range. One of his normals is a very fast tail swipe, which actually is just a great combo opener for the team overall. Frieza can also charge meter pretty fast, and remember in M.U.G.E.N doubles, meter is shared. So I've had some friends that have watched this in the past, and yeah, meter is shared amongst team members, which is a really cool dynamic, because like you're seeing here, Q just used a super. It didn't do the full super, but that used up some of the meter that Frieza was charging. So that can be a very good strength with this team, is Q can do these long combo strings or punishes, and Frieza will continue to charge meter back. But Frieza has his own crazy amount of supers. He's got one that I call Stealth Rock, which is like the Pokemon move, just these hazards amongst the stage. He's also obviously got Death Beam, which is a very good piercing super. So yeah, very good team, very brutal punishes just all around as meter just continues to go up overall. Next is we got Brute Force, which is Nappa and Asura. Now, these characters both have pretty low HP, but they have very crazy rushdown capabilities. As you're seeing right here, they are very much, I mean, they're both some people say glass cannon. These are glass rampaging rushdown trains. They're just gonna try to keep at it over and over. So definitely the ups and downs here is that they can have relentless pressure, but if the opponent is able to hold out with some defense, they could lose a lot of HP. So that's definitely something to consider. And Nappa also, basically if you're a Dragon Ball character, you definitely can build some meter pretty fast, which can be very good in doubles, because as you're seeing here, Asura was applying pressure and Nappa was gaining a lot of meter for the team. And then, yeah, as you're seeing here, there's continuing great combo pressure. These characters are so reckless that Nappa has multiple attacks that can hurt his own teammate. So definitely very hyper-offensive team overall. Next, we got Chaos Emerald, which is Blockhead and Blanka. Shoutouts to my good friend Lake Gefeller. These are actually his 2 most favorite characters amongst all the M.U.G.E.N characters overall. They actually ended up being on the same team. And the team stuff wasn't out of bias and stuff like that. Like I said, this was out of a lot of testing over the years. And so what I like about this team, Blanka has very crazy just special moves overall and supers, great reach, just great punish game. Blockhead is a pretty chaotic, jack of all trades character, and so like you're seeing there, that's a very good reversal from Blockhead. There's just a lot of crazy attacks that both these characters can do, and they can obviously string into each other's supers. They can combo off each other well overall. And the range is very good. Blockhead has not just a grounded fireball, but he has an aerial fireball, and Blanka has his rolling attacks he can use to get in quickly. And so definitely from both these characters, just they can rack up a lot of damage. And they both have pretty good health too. Definitely around the average, above average overall as the team. So their sustainability is just great across the board. As you're seeing there, yeah, like I said, very chaotic just moves overall, and that can really work in their favor. Next is we have Comedic Chivalry, which is Dan and Saber. You know, speaking of chaos, Dan definitely brings an art of his own, and Saber's got some pretty crazy special moves and supers also. This is actually, what I love about this team is the burst damage. Like you just saw there, Dan has been throwing out a few focus attacks, and he can combo into that, and it works just like in Street Fighter 4. If someone gets hit by a focus attack, they go into crumple state, and if they go into crumple state, then you know that can just be a free combo from Dan or Saber. And as you saw there, Saber's super definitely can rack up a lot of damage. Actually has really good range, like you're seeing right here. Like a smoke grenade comes out, and if one of the two or both, one or two opponents get hit by it, then it goes into the full sequence. So yeah, this team just very good burst damage potential. Definitely if the opposing team even hesitates a little bit, they might be eating a full combo or two easily. And yeah, with Saber's sword, she's got just really good range. And yeah, with Dan, you know, if he gets up close, he can definitely do like focus attack loops too. So that's definitely something that they gotta be careful about. And yeah, like you're seeing here, Saber has her own form of good rushdown pressure. So both these characters just can really do a lot of great mix-ups once they approach on the opposing team. Okay, so next we have Conquering Entrepreneurs, which is Kazuya and Tron Bonne. What I like about this team, again, it's kind of like just like good range overall. You know, Tron definitely has some pretty crazy special moves and supers of her own, but both these characters have a very, like, they basically can do like lethal punishes from mid to even long range. And especially now that it's doubles, and you know your one teammate can combo off of the other, which we call a volleyball combo. So what happens is, in single 1v1, you know, there's certain combos that will only go so far for that character on average. But now that it's 2v2, right when a combo might be done, the other could, you know, scoop up the opponent and extend the combo. And definitely these two are very good at doing that. And so it just creates this lethal team of, well, volleyball combos, and what you're seeing here, just relentless high damaging pressure game. A relentless high damaging pressure game. So yeah, very cool team to watch. Just overall very entertaining for sure. A lot of, like, again, lethal punishes. Alright, next we got Cool and Collected, which is Sagat and Dudley. I definitely consider this like one of the big, like, just well-grounded, solid, fundamental teams. They, again, well-rounded means they have their own capabilities to do burst damage. Sagat has very good range with, you know, his normals and supers and special moves overall. And Dudley can bypass, you know, like projectiles, can punish with cross counter. Both these characters are just very, I mean, honestly, both these characters just, they play neutral so well. Just overall, and so that actually can be a very good compliment towards each other. Sagat's really good at calling out anti-airs with Tiger Uppercut, and Dudley's really good at punishing with things like cross counter. So, you know, the opposing team is going to have to be careful about what they throw out. And like what you're seeing here is what I'm talking about, is in this 1v1 scenario, Sagat, yeah, see that he was able to just win neutral there, cause a quick knockdown, and yeah, I mean, Sagat is just demonstrating again just a well-grounded team, very good at just like footsies overall and neutral and punishing like a possible misstep. Next we got Crescent Cutters, which is Charlie and Wolverine. So with this team, Charlie is honestly very similar to Sagat and Dudley, which is why you saw that last game where Sagat and Dudley kind of had a pretty lengthy 1v1 showdown in terms of M.U.G.E.N doubles. And now Charlie, you know, he's partnered with Wolverine, like you're seeing here. And so in the 2v2 scenario with Charlie and Wolverine as a team, Wolverine's pretty ruthless, and I don't mean just like as the character, like his playstyle is definitely very ruthless. And so the thing with that is that he's going to do a lot of, like, he has a really good jumping command grab. He has a very good super that can scoop up both opponents and do a lot of damage. He has pretty low health, but he actually has a character trait, which is his healing factor. So a little bit over time, he'll get his health back, and that definitely can work very well in his favor. While Charlie provides some good defense with coverage like Sonic Boom and Flash Kick, their overall in terms of strengths and weaknesses. Next is the Daring Divers from Captain Commando and M.Bison. This team is very big on rushdown and really kind of pressuring with a lot of moves that are hard to just punish in terms of like on block, or if they land a hit, they can start really carrying a lot of momentum like you're seeing here. Now Captain Commando definitely has some pretty low HP. M.Bison's around average, so definitely, you know, you gotta, this team is very much dialed into the more offensive oriented play style in terms of pressuring with their strengths, but that pressure is very good. Captain Commando has his own kind of Grievous. He's got 3 characters he can call in for assists, which can be very helpful. He already has very good range and just very good combos overall. And M.Bison has also pretty good range, like with his scissor kicks and Psycho Crusher. M.Bison's also capable of charging, which can help Captain Commando a lot, especially if he's continuing block pressure. Now that right there was also a good example of punishing range from this team. Next up are the Evasive Fighters, which is 12 and Jin Kazama. Now the thing about this team is they both have very good just like movement overall, and so that means that they can actually evade a lot of different just like moves in general. And you know, they both have very strong punishes, as you're seeing right there with 12's hit confirm, and then Jin's multi-punch auto combo special move. So that's the thing, is that, you know, opposing teams are going to have to be wary of just like honestly a punish range across anywhere on the stage, especially with things like 12's aerial super, which can punish from like the very like highest back corner. And then yeah, Kazuya's just got, I mean, a lot like his dad, he's got very strong burst punish options from mid and long range. So you definitely opposing teams are going to have to be careful. This also includes just very good pressure, and 12's just got great range overall, and then pair that with Kazuya with his great rush down, and there's just a lot of like whiff punishes they can do for damage. Next up are the Fighting Legends, which is Gouken and Kung Fu Man. You definitely want to watch out for just kind of the combo variety that this team can demonstrate here. As you saw, we just saw Shoryuken into Gouken's Tatsumaki super. Yeah, but so both these characters have just a wide range of special and super moves. Their team combo game is just really strong overall. They're able to just kind of maneuver throughout the stage, just with like just great fundamentals. You see right there, Gouken's got a really great projectile with his Hadouken. Kung Fu Man actually has his own fireball too, which does pretty good damage. And so, you know, both these characters are just able to really go into different dynamics of play styles. They can play keep away, they can play rush down, they can play based off of like whiff punishes and the team combos. So definitely you're going to be seeing just a lot of variety overall from these characters. Also, the thing is, like, you see that with like Gouken's Tatsumaki he floats in the air, but Kung Fu Man can cover him in case he whiffs the attack. If he lands it, it's a lot of damage that carries them in the air. Gouken also has his own focused attack like Dan, so it can cause a crumble state if he lands, which can go into another combo from either him or Kung Fu Man. And yeah, so these characters are just very competent, like, with their combo game. That includes, like, being able to do very good air combos with each other. You know, a lot of volleyball combos can be seen from these characters. So there's just definitely a lot of just great combo variety from this team overall. And, you know, right there's just, like, vortexes that both these characters can apply as well. Kung Fu Man has a very good roll, which goes through basically every hitbox. And so they definitely could start sandwiching opposing teams if, you know, one's on one side and one's on the other, and then definitely they might just end the round there, even from full health from any other team. Next is the Freedom Fighters, which is Captain America and Rogue. Rogue is super mobile, to say the least. She's very good vertical and horizontal mobility, a great jumping distance, great punishes from the ground and the air. Captain America is just a very solid character. He's just got, you know, good health, great specials, good normals, good supers, and both these characters actually have their own mechanic. Rogue can copy stats. Now, she's not copying exact powers like an X-Men, but like you saw there, she just got defense up. So she has different stats that can go up. And Captain America actually has a gem system, kind of like Marvel superheroes. Actually, it's taken from Marvel superheroes. And so both these characters can utilize these, stat modifying mechanics. And so, you know, you combine Rogue's very good lethal rushdown capabilities with Captain America's just overall solid moveset and stats. And what you just saw there, Rogue basically tossed up the opposing team to Captain America, and he can use his normals to throw them back down. He can throw his shield to extend a combo for Rogue. Like you just saw right there, he just did Stars and Stripes, which is his reversal, his vertical reversal, and Rogue did a volleyball combo off of that. So yet these characters have, like, they're just, like, very solid as a team, but they both have, like, very unique mechanics that can modify their stats. So there's definitely a lot of, like, just crazy combinations that can come out per round. So definitely, it's both consistently solid with a lot of wild card factors that can be thrown in. Next, we got Grace and Vayne, which is Chun-Li and Cell. We want to talk about just very strong rushdown and great, like, neutral in general. This is definitely one of those teams. Because, you know, if you're looking for aspects like that, yeah, definitely this would be a great team to pick. Like you're seeing here, Cell has an amazing combo game. He has below average health, but his utility is very strong. He's got a charge, he's got great supers. He's able to actually do an OTG with his diagonal Kamehameha, which Chun-Li can then scoop up for a volleyball combo. Chun-Li can just rack up a ton of damage with her supers and special moves. She's got great reversals just in general. Like you're seeing right here, she did her lightning kicks and Cell comboed right off of that. And they're actually still just carrying the momentum right now. Yeah, you can see the combo dial has not reset yet. And that's definitely something you can see with this team, is just long combos throughout their games. So next up is Heart Powered, which is Iron Man and Jago. Iron Man has amazing range. He's actually very just persistent overall with his keep away game. He has great utility. He's got smart bombs. He can use Unibeam. Very great long distance supers too. Very just high damaging supers. He definitely has his flight. And then Jago's really high health. So Iron Man has, like, a bit below average health, and Jago has very high health. Jago's actually got surprisingly fast walking speed, and Jago can actually just do very high damaging hits in general in terms of normals. And so what happens, very good synergy here, is that Jago can just tank a bunch of combos while he throws out just his like great normals overall, and Iron Man can continue pressure from far away. But if Iron Man wants to go into rushdown mode, he has very good strengths going for that type of game plan as well. Like you're seeing right there, with that super, he's able to hit on both sides as Jago starts to approach. And yeah, they definitely can start closing in games that way. Next is the Jungle Jousters, which is Adon and Donkey Kong. Adon can just punish from long distance. You know, his archetype was kind of known as the anti-Shoto, which is very in character because he is Sagat's former student, but also big-time rival. And so he's able to just kind of punish a lot of like the kind of jack of all trades characters like Ryu and Ken, or you know, like Luigi. He's able to just punish like a fireball with his special moves or his supers. So he just has very good range, a lot of aerial-based punishments that he can do. Donkey Kong has very good range on the ground in comparison, and so you basically could like have this team that's pretty lethal on both the ground and the air. And so it becomes this, like, as you're seeing, they just can start really controlling both forms of space on the stage, which also can convert to high damaging, like, punishing combos. Like you just saw there, Luigi tried to get a reversal, but Adon saved Donkey Kong. And so now they're like bringing back their momentum. And yeah, as you saw, DK's Ground Quake will hit everyone, including Adon. But that might not be a problem for Adon if he's in the air all the time. Alright, next is Knife Fire, which is Emiya and Luigi. Emiya just has like pretty high base stats across the board. Great walking speed, great just like base damage in his moves. In terms of like normals and supers, just great high offensive damage overall. And Luigi, definitely a high burst damage character, more like burst combo, but those combos lead into just a lot of damage. When he's able, like this one right here, like he's just able to do a pretty good amount of damage with his combos. He has very good tools to get in, like his roll. He has a fireball. He actually has a very cool air dash. So he's able to. He technically has like 2 air dashes. There's one where he uses the Mario World cape, and there's one like right there where he uses the Mario 64 wing cap. And the wing cap one is definitely a special move, but he definitely has a lot of great mobility tools. And so what you're seeing here is, you know, if Luigi starts a combo string, Emiya can just throw out a few normals, and that combo is just gonna really escalate in its damage. And like you're seeing right here, Luigi's got amazing reversals. They can honestly just maintain really good neutral control because of Luigi's like relentless rushdown pressure and maneuverability options. And so yeah, you can just see these like scenarios where they're just really dictating neutral overall. Next is Les Mascottes de Capcom, and you know, you got Mega Man and Ryu. You know, Ryu is, along with Ken, they are the poster boy Shoto characters. It's where the archetype came from. So he's just got a well-rounded moveset. That super right there is actually invincible for quite a bit, so it actually can be very, very strong in doubles. As you might be hitting one teammate, but if the other one saves them, they might just like run into invincibility frames and get hit themselves. But what you're seeing here is, you know, Mega Man has his own version of Shoryuken with the rock upper, and then he's got, you know, his Mega Buster shot. So both these characters can play very strong projectile games as a team. They both have great uppercuts that they can use for anti-airs. They also just have very good supers overall. And so just a well-rounded team with a lot of surprises they can throw out. You know, like right there, like, you know, Ryu was able to do his super, Mega Man was able to do a charge shot to extend the damage there. You definitely see tornado hold there, which is very good for extending combos as well. Okay, so next up is Lethal Pocket Space, which is Konata and Link. So this is definitely a pretty crazy team. Both these characters have a lot of crazy moves that they can use. There's definitely a lot of like chaos that can happen from their matches. There's a lot of, but what that also means is that they can just continue just throwing out, well, just a bunch of crazy moves, and they can combo off of each other's moves. Like you're seeing there, Konata has her own version of a Raging Demon, which is very good damage. And Link can just throw out multiple long-range hitboxes as Konata approaches with that special move. Konata actually has a Hadouken, a Tatsumaki, and a Shoryuken herself, so she definitely has a toolkit to handle a lot of situations. Speaking of, Link has, just like in the Legend of Zelda games, like in every Zelda game he's playable in, Link just has a great arsenal of weapons that he can use basically to handle situations from short, medium, and long range. And in doubles, that could really help. It can be a combo starter for Konata or be a combo ender. In this case here, when Konata does the Raging Demon and like either causes a knockdown or just a KO, Link can actually set up with things like bombs, or he could do like a frame trap boomerang. Next is the Manual Pilots, which is Cody and Jim Sayatome. And basically what this team does is they have range all over the stage. You saw that with Cody's Tornado. He's able to, or like right there, he's able to just extend juggles that Jin might start. And speaking of, Jin can punish from full screen with that super. Cody, can throw rocks as a combo extender. But basically, vertically and horizontally, these characters can punish from any part of the screen. And that also, is paired with that really good reversal right there by Jin. It's a very good way to just get opponents off of the team. And Cody's got pretty good health, can do pretty good damage across his moveset. Jin has pretty low health, but Jin has very good mobility, very good combos, and like you saw, he's able to just punish close and long range. Medium range too with that Tornado. There's just, and like you saw there, Tornado into Tornado. Both these characters are very good at comboing off of each other. Speaking of, another Tornado into Tornado is just something you can definitely see with this team to walk in rounds and potentially just win. Next is Near Immortals with Goku and Dante. Dante's got pretty great health. He's got, a good air dash. Goku's got very good aerial mobility himself. He, like any Dragon Ball character, he's got a great charge. And so that can really supply a lot of meter for the entire team. Goku's actually got two really good screen-wide hitbox supers, which means that if the opposing team, both of them aren't blocking, they both can be hit by it. But at least one person that gets hit by it is going to get a guaranteed combo from that. But the other teammate might get hit in the crossfire if they're not blocking. And in Dante's case, he's able to throw out a bunch of just crazy moves in general, so that might be able to just open up for the double combo. Like you just saw there, Dante's got really good range. Goku's got a dive kick. So there's a lot of like mid-range punishes that both these characters can do. And so like right now with Goku's Kaioken, he really can. Usually when Goku goes into Kaioken, at the very least you'll probably see just high damage combos if he lands a hit. But yeah, he definitely will try to go into a lot of those screen-wide supers after a Kaioken. Next is the Pacemakers, which is Yun and Rose. What I like about this team is Rose, again, is just a very solid, well-grounded character. She's got a great projectile. She can reflect projectiles. She's got an aerial command grab, like what you just saw there, to punish DJ. M.U.G.E.N is a very big rushdown character. Can just be very relentless with the rushdown, with multiple air juggles, which actually can combo with Rose, because she can do like a super or one of, she can do her air throw. And so basically what happens is, in neutral, Rose can kind of play like the Fireball Wars and also reflect them, while M.U.G.E.N finds an opening to start rushing down the opposing team. Something of note is Rose has a taunt that makes her invincible during it, so there are like rare scenarios where she will taunt and it'll go, like, she'll just not be hit by a move, which actually can be very big, because if the opposing team is focused on her and she does a taunt, M.U.G.E.N might just punish them right there. So yeah, like what you're seeing here, like that taunt right there, she just avoided the initial hits of DJ, and they were able to close out the round there and win the game. Next is Phazon Vibrato, which is Dark Samus and DJ. A very strong long-range game for this team. They, Dark Samus and DJ actually also have a very good throw game. DJ's throw reactions and Dark Samus's are both really strong, and they both will just set the opponents at a favorable range overall to start throwing out their projectiles and really chipping away at them. DJ's got that very good slide attack that's able to just like come in and punish teams, potentially opening up for a team combo. You saw right there, DJ's just throw reactions are, again, really fast. So the second that there was an opening, he definitely got that against Fulgore. And so, yeah, this team is just, again, it's interesting because, they both have very good keep away games, but in close quarters, they're able to, like you saw right there, they're able to use a lot of good throws, just as a team, and just potentially just reset neutral. Both characters have very good supers that they can use, whether that's like a screen reset or just high damage juggles. They definitely have great options as a team, like you just saw there. Now Fulgore is at full screen, DJ's charging from the other side of the screen, and now see, like right here, they're holding their defenses, and Fulgore's going to have to worry about, well, projectiles from both sides. And again, two characters that are just really good with their throws overall. And so, right here, Fulgore was going for an ultra combo, but DJ was able to just approach from the other side of the screen and lock in the game. Next is the Plume Knights, which is Fulgore and Sonic. Sonic has, obviously a very good dash. He actually surprisingly has very good burst damage. He's got great special moves with his burst damage. He actually also has great burst damage with his supers. Fulgore is just a pretty lethal character up front. He definitely has his lasers from long distance too. He actually has multiple projectiles. He has like his energy scythe move. And so definitely good with coverage, as Sonic might want to approach, but Sonic has his own projectiles. He's got like a grounded like speed gust, and he's also got like a ring toss that will hit confirm into a homing attack. And so what happens is, yeah, this team is just can do very good burst damage and just very good sustainability. Both these characters, just like as a team, have just great health and sustainability. Fulgore is capable of doing ultra combos, and if both of the opposing teammates are caught in that, it usually ends the round and the game. There can be a saving grace where one teammate might stop his ultra combo, but in general, if he lands it, the other teammate might get caught in it, and that can definitely end the game there. And then, yeah, the insult to injury is Sonic's high damaging moves that could end it even quicker. Next up are the Purple Protectors, which is Piccolo and Strider. Piccolo's got pretty great health. He's got great normals. It's a great utility kit overall with his moves. He's also able to charge meter pretty fast. And what happens there is that Strider has low health, but he has very strong mobility, very strong combo punishes, very strong just like, I mean, when I say mobility, I mean in the air and the ground, definitely. And so what can happen is that Piccolo is able to survive for a pretty long time. Now in this match, he got comboed early on, but even with that, he was able to give Strider a lot of meter. And so what can happen is Piccolo can provide just a ton of meter for the team overall. And Strider is a very strong character when it comes to chaining supers into supers. And just like you doing long, high damaging combos with his supers. And so, yeah, the range of these characters is very high. Strider is able to just do lethal rush down while also doing very good keep away. Like you're seeing here, it was a 2v1 scenario, and Strider was able to hold his own there. Goes into his launcher. This is a big scenario that the team loves to have. Just overall is because Piccolo was being able to charge all that meter while Strider did his combo. You see they ended the game at a full level 3 bar. Next up, we have Red Gi Gang, and this is Guy and Ken. Guy has just very good, tricky maneuverability on the ground and in the air. Very good rush down. And Ken, you know, he's definitely just a well-rounded character. And they both just can combo off of each other very well, have good range like you just saw there with that air combo punish. And so they're just able to provide, they're able to just kind of adapt to a lot of different scenarios. And then when the opportunity presents itself, they can do some pretty lengthy team combos. And like you just saw there, both characters have the capability to jump very high. So what can happen is this team can definitely push the favorable situation of sandwiching, which is when one team has the other team members on one side each, which can create very strong like block pressure from both sides. And so a thing is, Guy's also just very fast in his cooldowns. Like right when his recovery frames are done, Guy is pretty proactive. And then yeah, Ken actually in M.U.G.E.N has an air fireball, so there could be crazy scenarios where that combos off of Guy's juggles. Next is Relentless Armory, which is Cable and BB Hood. Cable's got pretty low health, but he's got amazing range. He's got amazing rush down. BB Hood is a very tricky character. She's got a lot of different traps, and Cable has his own traps too. So like you just saw, it can create this just relentless rush down scenario where right when this team gets an opening with their tools, very good tools from long mid-range, they could just downright end the round. Now, of course, because Cable has pretty low health, he has to be careful. BB Hood's got, you know, around average health. She also has very good like mid-range tools, like the Uzi there. So definitely, she can definitely throw out neutral tools that will allow Cable to rush down and volleyball combo off of them. And so, like you're seeing here, they're just kind of covering multiple ranges because Zero does have a teleport. So even if Zero did like wake up teleport, he might have ran into that mine that BB Hood planted. Alright, next is Rogue Chain, which is Scorpion and Zero. Both these, you know, appropriately named, both these characters have very good attacks relating to their chains. You know, Scorpion's signature get over here, and Zero has his own green chain attack, which actually can combo into most moves that he could do with enough hit stun, which is really just Zero's version of get over here. Both these characters just have a very good moveset kit to the point of like you're seeing here. They can also play very good rush down like the last team, but they can also play just very good like anti-airs and fundamentals, kind of like you saw earlier with Dudley and Sagat. So they, just there's a lot of different scenarios that they can be pushing both on offense and defense. Next is Roller Tandem, which is Yang and Seth. Seth is known as the Glass Queen of all trades in Street Fighter. This is his Street Fighter 4 iteration, where he was definitely pushing that archetype. And so, Seth basically can cover, he can play like a grappler, he can play like a hard keep-away character, he can play like an all-around Shoto, and Yang is just a very good rushdown character with great pokes. So what happens is, while Yang continues, block string pressure and trying to approach and get in and just trying to wall break, Seth can just easily make that happen. Like you're seeing right here, he did one crouching heavy punch and now the opposing team was already cornered. Seth throwing out his reversals there and just kind of further allows Yang to add more damage or do a new rushdown reset. So definitely a lot of different combos that this team can demonstrate.
Do not grieve.
Next up is Shivering Strikers, which is Bad Mr. Frosty and Makoto. If you want to talk about just surprising burst damage, surprising movement as a team, it's definitely this one. There are other characters in M.U.G.E.N that are known to do that, but this is a team of both characters being able to just do a ton of crazy burst options, whether that's in special moves or just like in their normals in general. Bad Mr. Frosty and Makoto also have just pretty good health as a team, so they have very good sustainability. And so you pair that with their, like you just saw there, with their burst options, they can just kind of wait for multiple windows of opportunity, and then the round just might be over. And so they definitely, it's definitely they're playing more of a longevity game in their matchups, until it's not. Like what you're seeing here, the second that the opportunity can present itself, they can just do a very lengthy team combo or solo combo for themselves. Bad Mr. Frosty has two really great projectiles that do just great chip damage. So even if those are blocked, he actually can combo into them. But also just allows Makoto to approach and do a lot of her burst damage options. Next up is Spinning Spirit, which is Zangief and Espio. Zangief being the moving glacier grappler, kind of the forefront of that archetype. He started the archetype in fighting games. Espio definitely has very high damage normals. He actually surprisingly has his own high damaging command grab. You might, the attention might go to Zangief a lot in terms of archetype, but Espio actually has multiple command grab moves that he can do. He's got one super that can do it for high damage, and he actually has a command grab with his, he can use his chameleon tongue from pretty long range. So definitely the opposing team has to be careful from multiple ranges of being grabbed. And so, also another thing is that with Zangief's lariat, his double lariat, is it hits from both sides. So this team's very good at stopping a lot of pressure, and that includes if they were to get sandwiched from both angles or from both sides, Zangief can do a reversal and stop that. Next up is Throne Protectors, which is Sub-Zero and Conquer. These characters have very crazy tricks overall as a team. Sub-Zero can use his ice clones, and they're just active hitboxes, whether in the air or on the ground. And if the opposing enemy of the team comes into contact with any of the ice clones, they do freeze, which can create a free combo for Conquer and or Sub-Zero. Conquer has a very strong projectile game with multiple projectiles. He also just has great range. And that range can actually just string into very good combos, whether it's by himself or as a team combo like what you're seeing right here. And so they just have kind of great range across the entire stage, and they definitely can end rounds pretty fast, especially when they have both projectiles and just a lot of crazy hitbox mix-ups they can throw out and then hit confirm into them. Next up is Titan Fire, which is Hugo Kusanagi. And so with this, Hugo is another moving Glacier Grappler, like we saw with Zangief earlier. Very high damage with his command grabs. He's got very good HP, so does Kusanagi. And so, what happens is Kusanagi's able to just kind of throw out a lot of just good hitboxes with his moveset overall, allowing Hugo to potentially approach or just throw out like a burst super or just a command grab. Hugo, kind of like DJ, Zangief, and Dark Samus, has very good reactions when recognizing like an opportunity to throw out a grab. And so, with this team, they have very good longevity. And so if they catch the opposing team slipping, that could be it. Especially if there's even just a bit of chip damage. They could either do a combo from like normals into super, from like Kusanagi and Hugo, in that order. Or it could just be, one of these characters potentially just like winning an exchange in neutral, and then once that's reset, Hugo's already approached for a command grab. Next up is upcoming understudies, which is Sean and Nero. Sean is, a Shoto character, definitely a pretty unique one. He's got some pretty great moves. One of his grabs, he dives at the opponent and then just like punches them on the ground. That actually creates a very good amount of time for Nero to reset in neutral, like with his positioning if he wants to. Nero's got pretty good range, and when I mean pretty good, I mean he is like a trappler. He's able to trap with a bunch of long-range utility moves, and then he has a command grab from like screen distance. And so he has low health, but he's just able to, like you see right here, he's able to wall break over and over and kind of reset into neutral for the team with knockdown. I say reset, but basically creating Oki situations for him and Sean. And yeah, he can trap with his projectiles. His sword has very good reach. So you just have like a team that's able to just be pretty threatening across any part of the stage. Next up is Whirling Typhoons, which is T.Hawk and Bowser. Definitely both heavy hitters in their own regards. T.Hawk, another moving Glacier Grappler. He has very strong like mobility moves with Condor Dive and Tomahawk Buster, also Condor Spire. Bowser is pretty similar to Konata and Link. He just has a very good range of like crazy moves he can throw out, which can actually help out T-Hawk a lot in approaches. Something that's really cool is Bowser, Bowser's signature straight punch, which comes from I'd say Smash Brothers Melee and then Bowser's Inside Story. It's actually an OTG move. And so T-Hawk can land a command grab or do like a sweep, and then Bowser can scoop them up with that move, and actually can extend into a combo, like just like a team combo or just a combo just from Bowser. And yeah, T-Hawk just has a very strong command grab with Mexican Typhoon that the opposing team's gonna have to stay wary of if they're in range. And finally, last but not least, we got the Witty Wranglers, which is Mewtwo and Earthworm Jim. Both characters have pretty great just like health, but they also have just like good mid-range. They both have projectiles too, though, from long range, and they actually also both have very good close-up combos that actually can combo into each other's moves very well. And so just very solid across any part of the stage. They're just very well-rounded as a team, and the sustainability that they have lets them kind of last just pretty long overall, which that means in M.U.G.E.N, the second that the opposing team can slip up, they might be eating a team combo. And so what happens is, another interesting part is that Both are actually capable of doing pretty high burst moves too out of nowhere. Earthworm Jim's grab actually has a lot of frames where he's invincible, and so in team fights, while he's getting a throw, the opposing teammate, they might be trying to save their teammate, but they can't hit Earthworm Jim, allowing U2 to go in for his own punish. And that's the team lineup for Friday Night M.U.G.E.N. The registration link is in the description. Feel free to talk about Friday Night M.U.G.E.N. in the Fighting Games channel in the community Discord. Every Friday night at 8 p.m. Hope to see you there.
And the battle continues.